They'll be speaking shortly. So first, I'm going to invite APWA CEO Scott Grayson up, who will be followed by Jennifer and Dan. Take it away, Scott.
Thanks, Mitch. Good morning, everybody. When I hear I'm a mastermind, I think of a wild spy movie or something. But good morning, everybody. My name is Scott Grayson. I'm the CEO of the American Public Works Association. We're a group that's about 87 years old. I'm not that old. But, and we have 30,000 members across North America with chapters all over. We have a very active APWA chapter where Mitch is the president. And as it happens, this is my home as well. So lived in the state lots of years, brought our kids here every month. And I was walking in this morning and overhearing a mom and her young son speaking about wolves. And he was really excited about, am I going to see wolves, Mom? She said, yes. And she said, you know, it's not wolves, it's wolves. And they started speaking about English grammar and how challenging it is. And it struck me that, you know, you come to the zoo, it's a super educational place. So very happy that this is our, well, not happy that it's our 18th stop, could have been our first stop, but we've been all over the United States, under bridges, at train stations, and so this stop is now at a zoo for the Treetop Trail. And we're extremely excited about it. The Treetop Trail won APWA's Project of the Year award last year. It won at the chapter level, and then it also won at the international level as well. I want to say a few quick words about the roadshow. So those of us who were the masterminds were sitting around in a conference room in Washington, D.C., speaking about how great our infrastructure awards programs were. And ASCE, ACEC, and APWA have really great awards programs. And we all said, the problem is we're only speaking to ourselves. Let's bring these infrastructure projects out on the road and show people what is behind building, creating, looking after America's infrastructure. And that's what's behind it. I want to also speak about in the third week of May every year, APWA has National Public Works Week. And each year we have a new theme. This year it is people, purpose, and presence. And people, when we speak about that, building, designing, looking after America's infrastructure does not happen without people. And so we, as these three groups, are also speaking about workforce issues in America. We've started a workforce consortium with over 50 groups that are trying to solve this challenge of encouraging students, you know, to enter engineering and public works fields as well. And the last thing I'd say is that one of the other reasons that we run a roadshow is that nobody knows that you engineers or people working in public works are even out there if everything's working the way it should. So you turn on your faucets in the morning, you have running water. You take a shower, you flush your toilet, it goes somewhere, but where? And especially here in Minnesota, when it snows, someone has to plow your streets. And when all of that's working, it works seamlessly. So we really want to highlight and engineering, public works, and infrastructure in America. So with that, I will invite up Jennifer Schaff from ASCE. Thank you.
Wow, that was a hard act to follow, but I'll do my best up here. So I'm Jennifer Schaff. I'm a Region 3 governor with ASCE representing Minnesota. And I'm here in place of Tom Smith, our executive director, who unfortunately couldn't be here. So thank you, Scott, APWA, ACEC, and the team here at the Minnesota Zoo for hosting us at what is certainly one of the best and fun roadshow stops we've had the privilege of taking part in since this endeavor began in 2022. The Treetop Trail is truly a phenomenal project, and it's very cool that you can just look over here and see it. It prioritizes sustainability and ingenuity. It's the result that we see a more immersive visitor experience led by engineering practices that can extend beyond the gates of the Minnesota Zoo. When you all think of infrastructure, you all came here today in vehicles, you were on highways, maybe you think of connected water lines that you mentioned, or the energy grid. These are all essential to our daily lives, but they don't work in silos. Today's roadshow stop is a reminder that infrastructure is everywhere. It's the foundation that allows us to access and utilize the Minnesota Vikings or the Timberwolves stadiums. It's how we're able to enjoy concerts or arcades, movie theaters, and restaurants. It's the driving force, pun intended here, behind getting the Amazon packages delivered to your front door. And today, we see that innovative engineering designs and practices have dramatically enhanced our experience with the different species we can see and enjoy thanks to the Minnesota Zoo. Yes, civil engineering is at its core the backbone of our daily functions, but it's also at the heart of all activities or interests we enjoy, and we often don't think about the infrastructure behind it. Despite the importance of this field to every single thing that we do and enjoy, our built environment is largely underfunded and lacking ingenuity that we see here today due to decades of limited resources. ASCE just assigned 18 categories of the nation's infrastructure a cumulative grade of C in its 2025 report card for America's infrastructure. I see we have a great group of students here today, so thank you all for being here. And I'd imagine that you would aim for higher grades, right? Give me a thumbs up. So we have plenty of work to do to create a built environment that supports our economy and protects residents. And that's before we even get to projects that inspire the masses, like the Treetop Trail we see here. However, the biggest factor in building a better environment, a better Minnesota, a better America, lies in your hands, and I'm talking to you students back there. There are a great number of projects all over the country just waiting for skilled workers to see them through. But unfortunately, our profession lacks the number of engineers we need to get that work done. We need young adults like you more than ever. And today's roadshow stop, this beautiful trail and view, are a testament to how rewarding this field can be. So thank you for all the work you've done here at the Minnesota Zoo and the Treetop Trail to celebrate this project. So let's continue to prioritize projects that improve our quality of life. Thank you. So next, I'd like to introduce Dan Larson with AET, and incoming chair-elect at ACEC.
Thank you, and good morning, everyone. It's an absolute pleasure to join you today at one of the most exciting intersections of nature, of community, and engineering, the Minnesota Zoo Treetop Trail. What a view. I mean, it's incredible, just like we said, just to be able to look at it right here and walk it is just amazing. What a place to celebrate the power of public infrastructure and the remarkable folks that make it all possible. When we first started the Engineering and Public Works Roadshow back in 2022, as Scott mentioned, the idea was to shine a spotlight on the kind of often unseen work of engineers and public works officials and professionals. We wanted to see what we want people to see what we do every single day and all the way that engineering touches our lives. That's why we're here today at the zoo, to celebrate that. Standing here among the trees, it's pretty easy to appreciate the natural beauty all around us. But what might be less visible is the engineering that brought this vision to life. My name is Dan Larson, as they said. I'm representing ACEC here as incoming chair-elect. Linda has been to several of these for ACEC around the country, and just so happens to be in my backyard. I'm a proud Minnesotan, and also AET, my firm, did a lot of work on the project with the design and construction team, so very, very happy to be here today. I want to thank APWA and ASCE and the zoo team and everybody else for this project. It's a great partnership that we have with APWA and ASCE on this. We really don't shout from the rooftops loud enough about what we do and what the engineers do for this country and this world. You know, the Treetop Trail is really more than just a walkway when you think about it. It's a shining example of how smart, sustainable engineering can repurpose and reimagine infrastructure. Think about it. It used to be an old monorail track. It was abandoned. It was left idle for a number of years. Now been transformed into the longest elevated pedestrian loop in the world. Imagine that, in the world. It's the longest elevated pedestrian loop, well over a mile around. It lets visitors to the zoo experience it from a whole new perspective, offering an inclusive and inspiring journey through the tree canopy. And it didn't just happen. It was dreamed up, planned, and engineered by professionals who saw not what was, but what could be. Structural engineers worked hand in hand with architects and construction professionals and the zoo team and the staff here to make sure that the trail was safe, it was accessible, and seamlessly integrated into the environment. Their work helps support not only the zoo's mission of conservation and education, I think we'll hear a little bit more about that here in a second, but also the broader goal of creating spaces that serve communities in creative and lasting ways. That's what engineering is really all about. When we talk about public infrastructure, our roads, our bridges, our water systems, our parks, we're really talking about the foundation of daily life. Engineers are the unsung heroes who make sure our water is clean, our communities are safe, and yes, we can walk among the treetops without a care in the world, right? But here's something we need to talk about today, and I want to echo some previous comments, especially with so many students in the audience here. Across the country, we're facing a shortage of engineers. So I'm looking at all of you guys back there. We need more bright minds to step up, to study science and study math, dream big and build even bigger. To the students here today, if you ever look at a roller coaster and wonder how it stays up, if you look at a bridge and ask yourself how it supports so many cars, you might be an aspiring engineer. And we get very excited about that. We need you, the world needs you, and our future needs your ideas, your curiosity, and your passion. Because engineering really isn't just about numbers and blueprints, it's about solving problems. It's about improving communities. It's about making lives better. And it's about leaving something great for the next generation. Projects like the Treetop Trail show us what's possible when we invest in public works and support the talented people that behind those projects. And this roadshow, traveling from place to place, as you heard, 18 different places so far and counting. Another one happening next week in Texas. Sharing these stories, it's a celebration of what happens when public service and engineering come together with a purpose. So today, let's not just look up at this amazing trail, let's also look ahead. Let's look to the future, built by the hands and minds of people who care, people that are in the audience here today that had a hand in this, people like the engineers we honor, and maybe just a few of you in a few years as you pursue your STEM career, potentially into engineering and consulting engineering, be able to work on cool projects like this. So thank you to the Minnesota Zoo, to the brilliant engineering team behind the Treetop Trail, to every student, teacher, and family that came here today to celebrate this. Let's keep asking questions. Let's keep exploring. Let's keep building. And let's stay curious. Thank you.
Thank you, Scott, Jennifer, and Dan. Really great comments and really inspirational stuff for us moving forward. Next, my ACEC Minnesota counterpart, ACEC Minnesota CEO John Curry is going to talk to us. John is also representing the Engineering Education Foundation of America. Welcome, John.
Well, thank you, Mitch, Dan, Jennifer, and Scott. I'm Jonathan Curry. I'm the CEO for ACEC Minnesota, and it's just so exciting to see such a great project today, like the Treetop Trail represented here in Minnesota. But more exciting, and I'm sure the students are going to get sick of this, but it's great to see the next generation of engineers here learning about the project. And a little over 2.5 years ago, ACEC Minnesota established the Engineering Education Foundation of America to make charitable investments in workforce development. And we've got 3 areas of focus. We focus on post-secondary, so that's college. We focus on retaining the current workforce, but we really do focus on STEM education and connecting with the next generation of engineers. And to build the next generation of engineers, you need great teachers. And I'd really like to thank Apple Valley High School and their chaperones and teachers today, Katie Gergen and Carrie Blaine, for bringing out such a great group of students. So with next week being National Teachers Week, I think we should give them a round of applause. And, our engineers here, especially in Minnesota, helped create this national nonprofit. But we've had over 24 firms and 100 volunteers go out and meet with schools from across the region and across the state to connect with young minds. And one thing on the sign to the right of me is making engineering cool. And, I hope that, roads, bridges, buildings, and yes, roller coasters, all the students take a look at that sign over there, are really things that you can use to build the next generation and build communities in the future and, have more great projects like the Treetop Trail. So thank you very much, and back to you, Mitch.
Thanks, John. All right, our next 2 speakers know more about the Minnesota Zoo and the history of events that led to this project. The first to speak here will be John Frawley, Minnesota Zoo's CEO and Executive Director. He's also the president of the Minnesota Zoo Foundation. Let's welcome John.
Thank you. I should have brought an animal. I just thought of that, you guys. I should have brought something, but 50 yards over that way, we have snow monkeys. 100 yards that way, we have endangered Amur tigers. And right 50 yards that way, we have 900-pound grizzly bears. So after this, you can go see some animals. Thank you. I'm John Frawley. I'm lucky enough to be the zoo director. I'm gonna give some remarks, a few remarks, and then one of our other employees is going to come up and give you some of the details of the Treetop Trail, so I'm not going to go into full detail. I'll let Thomas Ritt do that. But a little bit about Zoo 101. The mission of the Minnesota Zoo is to connect people to animals and the natural world to save wildlife. So right in the middle, connect people to the natural world. I think this project hit that head on. So that's amazing. That's the direction we really want to go. But we love our mission. It's an important mission right now, getting people outside, connecting to animals and to the natural world. So that's really important. We're the 5th largest zoo in the country. A lot of people don't know that here in Minnesota. The average zoo in the country is less than 60 acres, 50. We're 500-acre zoo. So we are a big zoo. So having this trail makes sense, getting people out into that 500 acres. Last year, the Minnesota Zoo, we're 47 years old. Last year, the year we opened the Treetop Trail, we hit record attendance in the history of the zoo. 1.5 million visitors. So that makes us the #1 gated attraction in Minnesota is the Minnesota Zoo. And a lot of that credit goes to that walk into the woods. So we're super excited about that. A lot of people ask me, we're hearing about the engineering, a lot of people ask me, where did the idea come from, the whole Treetop Trail? So 9 years ago, I became zoo director here. And I was walking right behind you with the former zoo director that was leaving. He was kind of handing the keys off to me, and we're walking by the old monorail, empty. It was closed, and I said, Lee, what's the plan with the monorail track? Because it's big, it's not working. And he goes, that's the next guy's problem. That's me. So the funny thing is, right after I started my job, my bride and I, we had a plan to go out to New York to visit some friends. 2 weeks later, this is right in my first month, we went out to New York and we walked, they took us on the High Line in New York City, which is another railroad truss that was converted, elevated truss converted in Manhattan. And that project is now the second most attended project other than Central Park in Manhattan. And so I'm standing on the High Line, and I'm like, well, this is it. We gotta do this. And so I couldn't wait to get back to Minnesota. But the first thing we did, I'm like, we got to find some engineers. Because I can't get people excited about this unless it really could work, right? I mean, so that's the first thing we did is we started looking at the integrity of that Treetop Trail substructure. And I'm so glad when we heard that, I think the report came back, Thomas might talk about this, but I think the quote was, that's going to be around for 200 years, that substructure. So you got plenty to work with there. And then it all began, the whole project started to be developed. And the rest is history. We built the award-winning, amazing partnership, so thank you to all of our partners. It was an amazing project. It's just producing every day. Lastly, I'll just say my favorite part of the trail, every day we enjoy it, but during grand opening, there was a solid line. Hundreds of thousands of people came the first month to walk the trail. And one of our board members is a doctor, and we were talking about sustainability, we're talking about reuse, all these things that the trail did. But accessibility was another thing, getting people with special needs up into the trees, getting people that have mobility issues into a setting like this. It's pretty heartwarming. That board member during grand opening took a slow walk around the 1.25 miles, and he counted 29 families with disabilities enjoying that trail in one loop, one walk. We're seeing more people with special needs, more people with mobility issues, more seniors, because we built something for them that they can go walk 40 feet up into the trees. That's really important for us. That's a huge outcome. So, we're super proud of the trail. It's achieving everything we hoped it would. And I personally just want to thank all of you who were part of it. And thank you for the awards. So, thank you. Appreciate it.
I'm going to hold you up here, John, just for a second. Let's see. We have some award plaque certificates.
That wasn't engineered, right?
Yeah.
Sorry. That was...
We got some award plaques. So, John, we're going to stand here and hold this for a picture, and then after the event, we'll hand out plaques to everyone.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Here's our photographer.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All
Thanks
right.
for speaking,
Thanks
John.
so much.
All right, our next speaker knows the zoo and this project like the back of its hand. I want to welcome up Thomas Root to talk a little bit more about the project.
Hi, everybody. Welcome. Thank you. I think it was said earlier, people, purpose, and presence, right, for kind of a theme. And so I want to talk about the project a little bit like that. Firstly, I'm Tom Root. I'm the Director of Planning and Construction with the zoo. I am an engineer as well. Went through engineering school, got a license as a professional engineer, spent 15 years consulting engineering, and have been here for quite a while since then. So I just want to say to everyone in the audience, your skills that you learn in engineering school, they're applicable to a lot of industries. For myself, I'm representing an owner on a project like this, hiring other engineers to do the math. So our skills are transferable to other areas of industry as well. This project required people. Really good team needed to be put together. We had a uniquely challenging project with a lot of complex design problems to solve. We had existing conditions. This trail existed. It followed a path. it had infrastructure already mounted to it. So our team needed to account for that. We had unique regulatory requirements for this. The city of Apple Valley and others, this isn't a building. This isn't exactly a bridge. How are our regulatory agencies going to look at this? Our team that we built had to manage that. It had unique gravity and lateral capacity issues. Thermal and vibration effects were considered on this. Here we go. Thank you all. We also needed to account for really unique construction conditions. This was built over densely occupied, developed areas of the zoo. It was built over animal exhibits. We couldn't drop things into animal exhibits. An animal might eat a bolt or a nut and pass away because of that. We're amongst trees in forested areas of the zoo without road access for construction. We're over or next to bodies of water like the one behind me that we see every once in a while behind here. And it required a creative, confident, and collaborative engineering and architecture team. We're going to hear from, I think, Murphy next on that to talk a little bit more about the team and his perspective. This project was also a great sustainability exercise. It was challenging to remove, if we wanted to just remove the monorail track that was there, that would have been a huge undertaking, and we would have gotten nothing out of it as a zoo. So really this project was only possible because that existed before. To put in all the foundations and all those challenging areas, all the columns and everything, would have been nearly impossible to do. So this project exists because of reuse and sustainability efforts of the zoo. It achieved CITES certification. I want to read CITES' little blurb here. CITES certification is certified by providing performance measures rather than prescribing practices. CITES supports unique conditions of each site, encouraging project teams to be flexible and creative as they develop beautiful, functional, and regenerative landscapes. Our team navigated that. Next, I'm going to kind of turn into some of the fun facts and challenges of this project that were overcome. There are a lot of them. I'm only going to get into a few here, but about 1,000 tons of weathering steel was added to this project to make this happen. It utilized 380 prefabricated sections. So they were locally prefabricated, shipped out, and pushed out across this track, not disturbing the ground underneath it. 3,840 guardrail sections. So almost 3 miles of guardrails were added. Needed to be detailed perfectly, so it was as efficient as possible. 14,000 feet of welds on this project. So all field welds over 2.5 miles were done all winter long. So it was welded over the winter, 2.5 miles of welds. It's really impressive. It also was one of the snowiest winters on record in Minnesota. Even the last 2 winters have been very opposite of snowy. That winter that we built it was very snowy. So extreme challenges from weather. And the team, I want to kind of highlight that the team was able to accomplish this through design and construction efforts without a single lost time injury on the project. So 14 months of construction, not a single lost time injury. So I kind of want to applaud the team for that. I think that was a huge thing. And next, I want to kind of turn it over to Murphy or back to Mitchell. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll grab a photo here, Tom.
Perfect.
Thank you. All right, thanks, Tom. And thanks again for the zoo for having us here today. Our next speaker is J.W. Murphy Curran, a University of Minnesota grad, like myself, and a principal at MBJ. They're the lead designers, and he's going to come up and speak a little bit about the design of the project. J.W.?
Hi, everybody. I felt a drop of rain, so I'm going to try to make this one a little bit tight. I'm Murphy Curran, and I'm really excited and honored to be here today on behalf of Meyer Borgman Johnson, who, along with John Wacker, our engineer of record, and Burrow Happold, were the structural engineers for the project. It's an interesting project from a structure standpoint. It's not a building, it's not a bridge, it's kind of everything and in between. But I also really want to thank ACEC, APWA, ASCE, and the zoo for just hosting this event and helping us talk about engineering. So at MEJ, we're proud to partner with the Minnesota Zoo from the project standpoint to bring this idea to life. From a structural engineering standpoint, this wasn't an easy project. We weren't building something new, we were reimagining something old. The original monorail track was built in 1970 and had to be carefully evaluated. We had to ask ourselves, can we preserve it? Can we safely support new loads and new activities? And can we design something that honors the past while serving the future? The answer was yes, but it took a lot of collaboration, a lot of problem solving, and a lot of engineering from a lot of partners. People may not realize the role engineers play at being good stewards of the environment and resources. We can often use innovative strategies to reuse materials and lessen our impact on the environment. Our project team, with AET and all the other engineers here, assessed every inch of the 1.25 miles of the original structure, reinforcing it where needed, adapting it to meet today's safety and accessibility standards. We helped develop an entirely new decking and railing system to create a safe space for all visitors. We designed with longevity in mind so that this trail can be enjoyed by families, students, and explorers of all ages for decades to come. And the result, as Dan was saying, is the largest, longest elevated pedestrian loop in the world, right here at the Minnesota Zoo. And so more than that, though, the Treetop Trail shows that engineering, when it's paired with imagination, can really do amazing things. It's not just a walking path, it's a story of transformation, of taking something forgotten and turning it into something unforgettable. Every day across the country and around the world, engineers are solving complex challenges, some visible, most invisible, to make our communities safer, stronger, and more connected. So for all of you students that are here today, you don't have to have all the answers right now, but if you like to ask why, if you're curious and enjoy solving puzzles, if you're drawn to the idea of building things in a career that matters, engineering might be your path. So to our partners at the zoo and to everyone who helped make this project possible, thank you for trusting us with your vision. And to all of you here today, thank you for celebrating the incredible work that engineers do and for supporting the future of public infrastructure. We're proud of the Treetop Trail, we're proud of our team, and we're proud to be a part of a profession that improves the communities where we live and work. So thanks. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Thanks again. All right, our last speaker, but certainly not the least speaker here. When we have these events, we always like to invite public and elected officials. And we like to do so to help celebrate in the fact of those that design and build and maintain these structures. So we're especially pleased today to have U.S. Representative Angie Craig's office here. Angie wasn't able to make it, but her senior outreach representative, Allison Gray, is with us. So Allison, do you want to come up and say a few words? Thank you.
Gosh, a lot of you guys were tall. Hi, everyone. My name is Allison. I'm the senior outreach rep with Congresswoman Angie Craig's office. She sends her regrets to not be here today, but sends me with a letter to read to all of you. So without further ado, dear Roadshow attendees, partners, and supporters, I'm sorry I cannot be with you today because I'm in Washington this week for votes. Nevertheless, I wanted to take this opportunity to congratulate you on this exciting event. The Treetop Trail is a powerful example of how thoughtful, community-driven infrastructure can enhance public spaces, promote sustainability, and connect Minnesotans to the natural beauty of our state. This project is the product of collaboration among engineers, public works professionals, and local labor unions. This trail is an amazing asset to have right here in the heart of Minnesota's 2nd Congressional District. When we invest in infrastructure, we have the opportunity to also invest in people, creating training pathways, apprenticeships, and career opportunities for Minnesotans. These efforts not only strengthen our workforce, but they help ensure the economic benefits of public works projects are shared among our communities. These projects create good paying jobs and grow our skilled workforce. Thank you to the Minnesota Zoo, the American Council of Engineering Companies, the American Public Works Association, and the American Society of Civil Engineers and the labor unions whose work made this project a reality. Your partnership is helping build not just strong infrastructure, but stronger communities as well. It is an honor to represent the Minnesota Zoo in Congress. Sincerely, Congresswoman Angie Craig.
Thank you, Allison. And since you're the last one, I'm going to send you with this.
Oh my
with that
goodness.
here.
Thank you.
So I'll put it in the box for you.
Thank you very much. Ooh.
Thank you so much for being here with us today. All right, what a day, what an event. Thank you to all who put this on, for all of our speakers here today, and really for the Minnesota Zoo for allowing us to host this event here on site and just celebrate the successes of the project with them. While this ends the formal roadshow event, we're now going to get into that question and answer session with the 10th graders from Apple Valley STEM group. So for those who are interested, please stick around for that. I'm sure there's going to be some really great questions, and I'm really looking forward to what the next group of Public Works leaders look like. Thank you guys all for your time today. Have a great afternoon.